Okay, so it is currently like 88 degrees in here, and it is super hot because that wood stove is full. So I'm just going to be recording a little for handling video. Don't know why I have my brush. I already brushed out that rat. So this is a muskrat right here. This is one that I caught today. Tried today, everything. Cause that thing goes 100 million miles an hour. So I'm gonna get to skinning here. I got 2 of them to do. So I'm gonna show you guys how to skin a muskrat, I guess, or at least how I do it. So I got my pelter. This is just kind of odd cuts. Then I got my 4-inch skinning knife, and this is my razor knife with the hook blade on it. I really like this. I really like this hook blade. Works really well. So you guys even see the rat right now. There we go. Just making sure I got everything kind of good. This guy is sitting up on my desk right now. So I'm just gonna take the hook knife, do my opening cuts, and then I like to skin the tail out a little bit because that's where I put my stretcher hooks. So we got that side. I really like this, having this vice grip clamp. Works really well. I can already smell the green belly on this guy. So I just go up the tail. You don't have to go up 8 inches or whatever like I do. I just go up really far. And then I just trim off extra. So these are just start of winter rats. I've been trapping for a couple weeks now, since the 1st of December. So they are pretty fatty rats. So now I just opened up that leg, and I'm working my way across. Oh, did not get the tail on that one. So now I'm just working my way across to each leg, just to get that fur separated from that foot. Okay, so I got it there. Okay, now I'm onto the belly. So that was the whole backside that I just did. I'm onto the belly now. See if I can get a little bit of tail on this one. So you can just see when you do that cut, your tail just peels right off. So I got the tail peeled now. And I got the intestines and everything here, so I just pull those. Some guys have a better way of doing it. Hair's getting in my face right now. I'll have to deal with it. I don't want to take my glove off. So now my guts always come out. So this is just kind of something I've been dealing with. It doesn't bother me too much. But yeah, these guts always come out. Muskrats, it don't matter too much. Because, well, you ain't eating the meat anyway. Unless you are, then you don't want your guts to come out because you don't really want them touching your meat. So I'm just kind of, now I'm not even using my knife right now. I'm just peeling it. So you can see kind of that intestinal walls or whatever, that walls or that bladder, kind of the guts or whatever it's trying to come with. So now you got your arm right here. So I just put my arm or my thumb in there, and then I pop it, and then other arm, peel it, put my thumb in, and then I just take my 2 pointers and I just separate. So now I'm onto the head. I got my 4-inch skinner here. Make sure you guys can see this. GoPro. Make sure you guys can see this. So I just take my 4-inch skinner here, and 1 ear, 2 ear, and I just kind of work my way around. And then eye, the eye. Okay, so those are the 2 eyes, 2 ears. So now I just kind of stick my knife in, kind of give it one of them guys. And boom, we're done. That's a full muskrat right there. Face, everything, nose, eyes, ears, small ears. So that was the first rat. that was my first rat that I've skinned for a couple of days. So now I got blood on my hands, so I just grab a paper towel and I just kind of wipe my gloves off, wipe my knives off, just that way I don't transfer it to the other tools. You don't really have to do this. I just like doing it. Keeps everything a lot cleaner. And at the end of the night, I'll take these leftover paper towels, clean up the floor, and then I'll throw them in the stove. So now I got this big rat. I brush all my stuff out. I brush all my fur that I do. So like you got this guy right here. Hopefully you guys can see it. I just kind of brush them out. You don't have to spend a lot of time doing it. This guy I caught in a front foot and a back foot catch, so he no longer has one of his front feet. That could be a problem in the long run, and I could end up punching a hole with that bone. I'm trying my hardest not to do that, because that really sucks. So, throw him in the vise real quick. Flip our camera around here. You guys should be able to see that. Hopefully you guys can see that. My GoPro, my view camera is not loading. So I just gotta take my hook blade again and go down the tail. That was a little bit on the top edge of the tail. I don't usually like having it that far up, but it'll work. So then I just try to find my color line. Just kind of missed the color line on that one. So, done with the hook knife now. So I just go to peeling. I just peel that meat back and the fat back and everything off that leg. To cut a little bit deep with the razor or with the hook knife on this. Okay. So yeah, I cut a little bit deep with the hook knife. And that sometimes is a problem, but not too big of a problem. So now I just kind of, I go on the back side so that way I don't have to deal with the guts yet. And I know I'm probably blocking your guys' view. I don't mean to. Kind of hard when you have nobody to help you record. You get an assistant. So, no. This is a fat rat. That's why he's not feeling very good. I'm just trying to get his tail peeled. Which, right now, is not working. I'm gonna end up either ripping his tail off, which is not what I want to do. You do not want to rip their tails off. Okay, let's see what I got going on here. I'm not a master at skinning at all, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. There we go. So this is kind of what I use my pelter for. I don't need all that tail, so I just kind of choose a couple inches and I just cut it. So I kind of peel that back out, get it a little bit, so that way I have some working room. And then like, if there's like batter tendons, I just snap those, put my thumb under it, and just snap them out of the way. I try not to use my knife, and if I do, I use as least amount as possible. I don't really ever use my knife, so there's some guys that will, but most of the guys that I know very rarely use their knife to peel a rat. So then you get up here and keep on going. Oh, that guy did not get tail. A little bit of fat on him, so sometimes the fat will make it so you can't get that. Don't know what's going on there. Intestines. You know the drill. Intestines or something. Something that is not important. So he's done a rip big hole in my hide. Same thing with the guts on this one. Did not want to stay, so I opened up that gut wall. Trying to find a hold on the gut wall here so that way I can peel it. I peel the hide under the pelt back. Very slippery. I can't find a hold, so I'm gonna do what I usually do and just let them go. I'm not gonna stress too much about it. It's skinning a muskrat, so. Oh boy. And there's got fluid and juices and all that other type of stuff kind of going everywhere right now, but I ain't too worried. There we go. There we go. Now we're getting everything kind of free here. There. That took a second. But you know, just take your time. It ain't worth getting in a rush and putting a hole in your hide. It isn't worth it. So, now this is, I gotta be careful here, so, because this is the foot that has, well, this is the leg that has no foot, or no, that's this other leg. Gonna get them all spun up here, so you can find them, and then we're just gonna, boom, and there's no holes in the hide now, so, everything's really off balance with these guts hanging out, so I was gonna flip them until I got them back to where I kind of need them. So, taking the 4-inch skinner again. Gotta get some of this meat back. There's an ear. So I follow that. There should be an ear right over here. Boom, that's an ear. Okay. Now, should be an eye right there. Right there, the eye. That is a big eye hole. So I'm just gonna stop that. Okay, put her in. Okay, that was not the best skinning I've ever done, but it certainly wasn't the worst. Yeah, I mean, missed quite a bit of that eye, but, you know, it is a small raccoon. So, that is how I skin my muskrats. Highly recommend getting a vise. There's a lot of guys that do it on their lap. I can't do it like that. I like having it where I can see what I'm cutting. Oh, and I got a little hole in my glove there, so this one's junk. But I think I've gotten probably 30 uses out of that glove. I had to replace the other one the other night, so it ain't too big of a deal when you have to replace a little rubber glove. So yeah, that is how I skin my muskrats. I hope you guys learned something. Okay, so I just did a video on how to skin out a muskrat. So I'm gonna do a video on how to flesh a muskrat. So this is a homemade fleshing beam. Got it from another trapper who, well, this actually wasn't a muskrat fleshing beam to be original. This is a fox board. Took it, shaped it down really badly. And just made it worse. But it works for what I need it to do. I like having it at this angle. It's mounted. It only has like 4 screws in it that I had to pay for. So it is all from one fox board. This part, and then I got 2 spring clamps and a couple chunks. I got a chunk of 2x. So I'm gonna take our muskrat here. Got this guy, and I'm just gonna kind of whip him real quick and just see. Oh, there goes the other flushing beam. So you're just gonna kind of slip him over. This is a pretty small rat. So I got him just like this. So was definitely a male because there are 2 holes in the hide. So I use the Weeby pelt scraper. Oh, you guys can see that. I use the Weeby pelt scraper. I like it so far. So I'm just gonna kind of start from the top here, and you see this right under the arms, that's saddle. You want to leave that saddle on there. But that bat that's in that saddle, you do not want to leave that in there. So it looks like you might have something right there. Bite mark from fights and other things. You shouldn't be fighting too much now, but okay. They got stuff to fight about, I guess. So that was my first run. And now, like down here by these skirts, especially, make sure you hit those really good. Only ones that are really gonna have fat is those these shoulders. Up here you might have a little bit of mouth fat and that's just kind of meat. And then these skirts, right down by the tails and stuff, are gonna have a lot of it. And I'm just kind of using my knife. I kind of have my hand up here and a hand kind of guiding it. I don't put very much pressure with this top hand. Put very, very little pressure. It just kind of as a guide more than anything. So sometimes they'll have some pieces of meat that you can't really get. You can always trim those off when they're on the boards or on your stretchers or whatever you're using. So that side's done. Now you're just going to spin them. Make sure you get them all down. And then you just kind of, you don't need to flush very much. There's very little you actually need to flush on these. Otherwise you're just taking off nothing. Well, I'll show you guys how much I get off one of these muskrats. And these are all winter muskrats. Obviously your spring muskrats, your fall muskrats are going to be a little thinner, not going to have as much fat. So you obviously don't need to skin them out as much as I do. But your corn-fed muskrats, right in your irrigation ditches, will probably have quite a bit of fat no matter the season. Because, well, there's corn. These guys were all caught in a slough about 15 miles up the road. So they're pretty local, no cornfields around really. So they're not really corn fed or anything. So that guy's done, and then I just kind of take them and I lay them over my vise. So here's what I got from a muskrat. Here's what I got from fleshing one. Right here. This is it. Yeah, very little. And I can't really cut the jowls out, the cheeks. So a lot of that is just jowl meat. So now you got this big rat here. This is probably, I would say, an X large rat. If I were to say he was a size. So this guy does have quite a bit of fat on him. And quite a bit of meat still. So same thing. You're just going to go through and you're just going to kind of really work out that fat in those shoulders. For some reason this guy has a lot of fat on him. And try to stay on your one side of the fleshing beef. Don't do what I just kind of did there. Try to work on the sides while you're working on the belly, because you will put holes in your hide. This guy has quite a bit of kind of epidermis type stuff on him, so I'm just kind of really hitting him hard. Right down here by the skirt again. You're just gonna be careful of any rough spots. These guys won't get burrs, really. So I don't worry about burrs too much. I still brush them out really good. Still brush them out really good. Guys, that chunk of fat really just does not want to come out. And I'm not crazy. There's a chunk of fat in there. So yeah, I missed a lot of meat on this guy. So I'm just getting, especially on this big rat, I'm just getting more meat than anything. On kind of rats in general. They very rarely have a lot of fat unless you're busting huts and getting them through the ice with conifers, colony traps. This guy has very little fat on him. Even though the small ones have quite a bit of fat on them this year, from what I've seen still. Then again, we're also just getting into winter, so they haven't had to really diet too much. This spring, though, they'll probably be pretty lean again. Usually you can flush out a rat in a few swipes per side. Not like what I'm doing here. Yeah, so now I'm just going to kind of do a one over because this one is a little difficult to flesh. So yeah, then boom. That is 2 rats fleshed. So that's how I kind of flesh my muskrats. And that's a pile of meat and fat and whatever else I got off 2 muskrats. So you're not fleshing very much off these guys. Yeah, we're still cruising at about 80 in here. It's better than it was at 100, but still hot. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys. I just showed you guys how to skin a muskrat, how to flesh a muskrat. So now I'm going to show you guys how to board one, or at least how I board one. I don't really board them. I stretch them. I don't have any wooden boards for them. I just say boarding them because I just feel like that's kind of the thing that we usually say. So I'm going to grab one of my stretchers here. This is a Sleepy Creek stretcher. So they're not really, I don't think they're made anymore. These Sleepy Creeks. That makes your school a little closer. So, see here. Got my stretcher. And I'm just going to grab my muskrat right here. You're just going to slip them over. So, and you don't want them on the side or anything. So you're just going to spin them until you have your 2 eyes, 2 ears, your 2 front feet on the same side. And try to make them as symmetrical as possible. So I just kind of like reaching inside, and then you just kind of pull them to the side that you need them more symmetrical on. And I'm just kind of using my belly, like my kind of chest and stuff, to kind of brace the stretcher, and I'm just kind of pulling. So I'll fix the mouth a little bit here, get everything a little bit more evened out. So I'd say that guy's pretty stretched. Gotta reach up in here a little bit though, and ooh, that's cold. And just kind of pull them. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you guys. Don't know what's going on here. Didn't do a very good job on the opening cuts on this guy, I guess. But he'll still bored. So I just kind of take the clothespin, go right here on the nose. Okay, so there's one right there on the nose, just like that. And we kind of center this tail up. And this is a pretty big rat right here. I've got quite a few this size this year already. Okay, then you're just going to even out your two skirts. Try to get them as even as possible because they measure from the nose to the shortest point. So if one skirt's way up here and your other skirt's down here, that doesn't do you any good. You got probably a medium-sized rat instead of a large rat then. So I'm just going to kind of pull them as even as possible. And then I'm going to clothespin them. So I clothespin them just that way they don't roll up. I don't go right on the edge. Try to go not even a half inch in, quarter inch, eighth inch in, at most, just to make sure you get them good. So that's pretty good right there. Now I'm gonna flip him. Now this rat is pretty big actually, and I should upsize my stretchers. But you're just gonna kind of, if you don't have a tail to poke into, I just kind of poke into that last end of skirt there, and I just kind of stretch until feel some tension. And like this guy, he's not very tensioned right now, but there. So now I'm just gonna take this guy, and you're just gonna take him very slowly, and you're just gonna hang him. So now I'm gonna grab my next stretcher. I'll take off my 3 clothespins. And I got this one, I don't even know if this is Duke or what this one is, or if it's a Victor. It's not a Sleepy Creek, I know that much. So, I'm just grabbing my rat, and this is a pretty small rat, so there ain't gonna be much to do on him. I'm just gonna kind of take him and kind of just take him just like this, and Jesus, he really does not want to stretch. Mainly just because he's a small rat, so that's more than anything. There we go. Got him on the stretcher nice and good there. Because you're just going to unroll your skirt. This is about the size that I would suggest not putting up. It just depends on your carcass prices. Like my carcass prices are $1 a piece, but I can sell a small put-up rat for $1. So it doesn't make sense for me to waste my time to put up a small rat when I get the same price on carcass or not on carcass. So his nose is staying pretty good, so I don't want to clothespin it right away. Usually if the nose is not staying, I'll clothespin it. Just that way it stays up on that stretcher top. So then you're just going to kind of take it and put her in there, right there, just like that. Now this one has a little bit of damage to the bottom side, kind of where the hole is and everything, so you're just going to kind of do that. Just try not to pull too much. And you're going to take your clothespin, and your 2 skirts are already pretty evened out, so they're pretty good. And then I take my mouth and everything, and I'm just clothespin the nose, and that is how I board my muskrats. So both those rats are done now, and that's all I had to put up for the night. Did not have a very productive day on the line. Right now we're just holding pretty still at 80. Don't know if I'll keep the wood stove running tonight, but yeah, I probably got a $3 rat and a $1 rat there, so You know, some people can say, oh, it's not worth the effort, but I honestly like doing it. I like putting them up. So yeah, hope you guys learned something.